My daughter's only chance at survival was the man who almost ended my life. She was diagnosed with leukemia 8 months ago, and we tested everyone in the family, searched every registry, begged on social media for help. No match. The doctor said without a bone marrow transplant, she had maybe 6 months left. Then last week, the hospital called and said a donor had come forward. A perfect match. Anonymous. I cried for an hour straight. The day before the procedure, the donor requested to meet me in person. The doctor said it was unusual, but he insisted, and I agreed because I owed this person everything. I was rehearsing thank you speeches in my head as I walked to the meeting room. I opened the door, and my entire body went cold. It was him, my ex from 12 years ago, the one who put me in the hospital 3 times, the one who broke my jaw, fractured my ribs, punctured my lung, the one I fled across the country to escape. He was sitting at the table smiling warmly like we were old friends. Surprise. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. He leaned back in his chair. You look good. Really good. Motherhood suits you. I asked how he found me. I never stopped looking. Took me 8 years. But then I found your Facebook. Saw all the posts about your daughter, the fundraisers, the desperate pleas for a donor. He smiled wider. I got tested at 12 different clinics until one of them matched. Been planning this for months. I told him I would find another donor. He laughed. You've been looking for 8 months. I'm the only match and you know it. I said I would tell the hospital who he really was. His smile didn't waver. Tell them what? That the man trying to save your daughter's life used to date you? They'll think you're insane. They'll think you're trying to kill your own child. He stood up and walked toward the door. The procedure is tomorrow at 8 a.m. I'll be there. You can either let me save her and we start fresh, or you can refuse and watch her die. He paused with his hand on the handle. I'll be the hero who saved your little girl. We'll be connected forever. Family, just like we should have been. He left. I sat there hyperventilating for 20 minutes. I didn't sleep that night. At 6 a.m., I went to the hospital and asked to speak to the transplant coordinator. Her name was Diana, and she had kind eyes. I told her everything. She was skeptical at first, so I showed her the police reports from 12 years ago. The hospital photos of my face swollen beyond recognition. The restraining order he violated 3 times before I finally disappeared. Diana went pale. She looked up his donor registration and found he'd used a fake name. That's fraud, she said quietly. We can't use a donor who committed fraud to register. I said I knew. I said I would rather watch my daughter die than let him save her and own us both forever. Diana was quiet for a long moment. Then she leaned forward and lowered her voice. I'm not supposed to do this. I could lose my job, but I'm going to run an emergency search on every registry in the country using her updated markers. Sometimes new people register every day. Sometimes we get lucky. I asked why she would risk everything for a stranger. She pulled down the collar of her scrubs. There was a long scar across her collarbone, old and faded and white. Because I know exactly what it's like to have someone think they own you, and I know what it's like when no one believes you. She ran the search. I waited 3 hours in the hallway while my daughter kept asking why the nice man wasn't coming to help her. I couldn't answer. I just held her hand and told her everything was going to be okay, even though I didn't believe it myself. Then Diana came running down the corridor with tears in her eyes. A 23-year-old college student in Ohio. She registered 9 days ago. Perfect match. She's already on a flight. I collapsed against the wall and Diana caught me before I hit the floor. That afternoon, security found him in the waiting room holding flowers and a teddy bear. They told him the procedure had been canceled and he needed to leave the building immediately. He saw me watching through the window of my daughter's room. For 1 second, his face stayed calm. Then the mask dropped completely. He started screaming that I was ruining everything, that I belonged to him, that he did this for me and this was how I repaid him, that I was nothing before him and I'd be nothing without him, that he would find me again no matter where I went. Security dragged him out while he thrashed and kicked and screamed my name over and over. My daughter watched through the glass, terrified and confused. I pulled her into my arms and held her as tight as I could. That man isn't going to help us anymore, baby, but someone much, much better is coming. Someone who doesn't want anything except to help. The transplant was 3 weeks ago. My daughter is recovering. He's in jail for fraud and violating the restraining order.